Hey, hello, I'm Kråkan, also known as Corvus, and welcome to Yacc, yet another Crowcast where I pick a game, I play it for a week, and then I talk about it. This week's game is Ninja Gaiden for the Nintendo Entertainment System. It's an action platformer released in 1989, and later got to release in Europe in 1991 as Shadow Warrior, because you can't say Ninja, or couldn't say Ninja back in the day. It was developed by Tecmo and also published by Tecmo. And also there will be spoilers up ahead, just so you know, but first a little backstory. So I watched a streamer on Twitch called Lifted, and he played the PC Engine version of this game, going through retro achievements, RAs. And I think he later on played the Nintendo version as well, the NES version. And I figured, I haven't played Ninja Gaiden, so I might as well just do it for the podcast. So the game starts with a title card and later a duel between two ninjas, one of them being Ryo, the main character's father Ken, and later Ryo gets a letter from one of his dad's associates, and he's out on a revenge quest for avenging his father. And he also grabs the family heirloom, which is this dragon sword, and he's off. And all this is told through a cutscene like an anime, and it's really good for the NES era. So the first level of Ninja Gaiden is Act 1, the city. So here you fight bikers, dogs, or I think they're monkeys, I'm not quite sure, boxers, and guys in overall that shoot guns. So you can pick up different items throughout the game. You can pick up shurikens, you can get a spin attack, and these powers are like the Castlevania ones. But instead of hearts, you pick up these ninja symbols, I guess, blue and red, and they're basically ammunition for your special abilities. So these items drops from lanterns, so you break the lanterns and something will pop out of it. So you go through the stage and you end up in a bar where you fight a big guy that looks like a mech, so that's the first boss. So this game has a lot of similarities to Castlevania right out of the box, at least the first couple of Castlevania games. You have a life bar that represents your health and the enemy boss's health. And this game, like many others at the time, suffered from the classic knockback NES syndrome, so there are a lot of sheep deaths in this game. So right after the boss fight, there is a cutscene where a girl shoots you and you wake up in a jail cell, and the first thing she does is ask you a favor. And why this is just kind of stupid. You shoot someone and then you ask for a favor. So the next level is Act 2, Escape. It introduced bat enemies, and I don't know about you, but most NES games from this era has bats in it. It's just a generic kind of enemy. So as I said before, this game suffered from the classic knockbacks, and once you try to scale this level, it will hit you hard. So often the enemy kind of spawns right where you need to jump, and once you kill an enemy, another one will spawn in directly. I don't know if it's like the sprite count or what triggers that, but some jumps in this game combined with the knockback is just pure bullshit. So a cool thing about this character of Ryo Hayabusa is that he has the dragon sword, and this sword makes short work of any enemy. It just takes one hit to take them out. Also, Ryo can do this wall jump, or more or less he jumps to a wall and clings to it, and it's essential for some of the later levels. You cling to a wall, you jump between walls to get, up top of it. So at the top of the stage you encounter more characters, hooded figures, army guys that shoots at you and runs and charges at you as well, and this is where I got my first game over. So it wasn't that penalizing at all, but it's one of those things you kind of get reset to the end, or like not the end, but the beginning of the stage, and you have to do it all over again. So I have to mention the pillar section of this level. It's so unfair and frustrating. Enemy spawns in and you have to make precise jumps and precise cut with your katanas. But once you kind of get into a flow, it becomes more playable. It's just that you kind of get set back and you have to do it all over again. The boss of this stage is a big guy that swings some kind of blade around. Act 3. So Ryo runs into Walter Smith, the colleague of his father Ken, and he gets told that there were some evil statue, like a light and a dark one. And once if these were combined, something bad would happen. So apparently Ryo's father had one and Smith had the other one. So what happens is a ninja drops in and steals the statue, and Ryo has to run after him. So this stage contains a lot of water, birds, and later a snowy area. And the birds are the most annoying enemies in this game because they fly around the screen until they decide to despawn or they hit you. So not very nice at all. So the boss of this stage is a jumping guy, just avoid him and you're pretty much good to go. And then there's a cutscene where Ryo runs back to Smith because he figures something is wrong, and Smith lies there dying, and he gets told that Ryo has to become the dragon ninja to stop the evil that's awakening or about to awaken. It's about the two statues from before. And then it's time for Act 4. So Ryo gets taken by 3 guys in black suits and gets confronted by the boss from the CIA. And there's a lot of plot drops, and even the guy has like a slideshow where he shows Ryo what to do, which is kind of funny. And then Ryo gets flown to the Amazons, where his quest continues to avenge his father. There are some Sheeta enemies here and some enemies with bazookas, and then there's a cutscene with a castle in the distance, and then there's a mine segment, and even later they throw in a couple of Jasons at you, like Jason from Friday the 13th. And the boss of this level is, well, there are 2 bosses, like hunchbacks from the Castlevania series, I guess. I guess the character is called Grant in Castlevania 3. And then the main bad guy uses the girl that shot you in the beginning of the game as bait or as a hostage negotiation chip. So by doing so, Ryo gives up the statue, and the main bad guy gets exactly what he wants. And then Ryo there's like a trapdoor and he falls down. He has to climb all the way up to the top again. And that's pretty much the end of the game. You confront the main bad guy at the end, and either you win or you lose. So this is a super hard game. I never managed to get even remotely. I didn't even get to the mine section. Like, there was no way. And it's one of those things where you gotta have a lot of patience. But yeah. So gameplay. Follow Ryo Hayabusa's journey to avenge his father, and by doing so stopping a powerful demon guy in the end. Control, the D-pad moves Ryo around, the A button jumps, the B button is a sword, and up and B uses the special weapons, and start pauses the game. Graphics. The graphics looks very good in the cutscene department, otherwise the game's palette is very washed out. And the cutscenes are kind of awesome for the time, I guess. They look like anime panels or like in a manga book. Sound and music. Keiji Yamagisha and Ryushi Nita made the music for this game. And there are also some other sound design credits in the end credits. Yamasan, BB, and Akase. As for the music, it's upbeat and in your face, gets your blood pumping to go out and kill some bad guys. Easter eggs, secrets, and glitches. So the spin attack in this game is overpowered. It can kill a boss with 1 hit. And I didn't know this at the beginning of the week. There's also some cool commercials on YouTube, or it's basically a kid sneaking out to get his copy of Ninja Gaiden. He probably did something bad and his parents took it away from him or something like that. And I also watched a couple of speedruns of this game, one of them being Arcus run of 11 minutes and 34 seconds. Another one was a tool-assisted speedrun. It was during 10 minutes and 50 seconds. And I can't even read my own handwriting, but you can probably find it on YouTube anyways. So in conclusion, I wrote, yes, try it, but you need a lot of patience. So once you get into a flow, you feel unstoppable, you slice through enemies and everything is fine. But then there are other runs where you die like 500 times at the same enemy because of bad placement and respawning issues and whatnot. And I don't feel bad that I'll never beat this game. It's just one of those games that are hard. I'm not, angry or anything. It's not my type of game. Maybe, as I said before, maybe if I grew up with this game, but I didn't, I might have liked it more, but I didn't. So anyway, thanks for listening and or watching, and take care.